Tested. To my streaming box weary senses, the promise of the Boxee Box sounds almost too good to be true. Boxee promises to unite the segregated worlds of web video and locally stored content. You know, all those DVDs and Blu-ray discs you ripped yourself. All while adding a social framework to make it easy to watch internet videos your friends recommend on your TV. While Boxee hints at what could become a compelling experience, today the box feels very first generation. When you break it down, the Boxee Box does three things. Streams local video, photos, and music, lets you watch video from the internet, and lets you watch video using convenient apps with varying degrees of success. The app viewing experience is awesome, but the number of apps available to use as sources is extremely limited. While there are 100+ apps available, some are of very low value. The site that simply posts scans of sandwiches stands out in a pretty mediocre field. The good news is that Boxee has published the tools anyone needs to build their own apps, so those should continue to improve as the platform becomes more popular. In some ways, the Boxee Box is the best device I've ever tested for streaming video you've stashed on your network. Yes, the files stored on your network are buried under submenus and are hard to search for. Yes, I had problems getting it to work with my DLNA server, but once I pointed Boxee to a network share, it had no problem indexing all my DVD rips. Once Boxee found my ripped discs, it looked up metadata and pulled a thumbnail for each film from the internet to make browsing my collection friendlier than scrolling down a giant list of names. Streaming quality looked great. On a wired network, the Boxee Box was able to reliably stream 1080p content in more formats than any other device we've tested. It worked with MP4 and MKV containers, even with multiple audio tracks, 5.1 sound, and subtitles. And it even managed to scrub through a WMV file that hasn't worked with any set-top boxes we've tested. Unfortunately, it took me several hours to clean up messy metadata. Boxee doesn't make files with bad data easy to find, and the problems are sometimes unfixable. Worse, overall user interface issues mar the experience. It takes minutes to scroll through a 500 movie library, and even worse, after you change a single file, it doesn't save your place. You have to scroll back through the entire damn list again. The list is too damn long. Once you've fixed all the messed up metadata, it turns out that the data is just window dressing. That's right. You can't browse or search movies by genre, release year, director, or actors, even though that information is clearly in the system. The Boxee Box has potential to be truly amazing for the folks who've ripped their DVD and Blu-ray collections, but Boxee has to make the user interface more convenient, make it easier to fix bad data in your library, and give you tools to back up and restore your library info in case of catastrophic failure. And then there's web video. The Boxee Box also lets you view some videos straight from the web on your TV. For most sites, this works by loading the web page with the show in question on screen, then hijacking the Flash player and taking the video full screen. Boxee users then see the exact same stream that someone watching in a browser would see, complete with ads. Boxee makes a ton of content available this way, which would be fine, except it's very inconsistent and not very good. The web videos take ages to load, the box crashes occasionally, and sometimes videos that have worked in the past are missing either sound or video. Some videos simply don't work at all, which highlights the biggest problem with this kind of hackery. Boxee doesn't have an official relationship with many of the content providers they access this way, so it's entirely possible, even likely, that the providers will block the Boxee Box if it gains popularity. And while the social aspects of Boxee are interesting, you can pipe videos into your Boxee Box from your Twitter, Facebook, and Google Buzz feeds, as well as share internet videos you like with your friends, I'd much rather see a way to rent or buy first-run movies, like Amazon's video-on-demand service. Also missing, any way to watch your Netflix instant queue or view Hulu Plus content. While the App Store lists a Vudu app, it's listed as coming soon. Likewise, apps for Netflix and Hulu Plus are forthcoming, but not available at launch. The Boxee Box's remote is a decent first effort, but like the rest of the Boxee Box, it lacks polish. With a 5-way digital pad and 2 buttons on one side and a tiny keyboard on the other, the remote seems perfect for a streaming box. However, its nearly symmetrical design makes it difficult to tell which end is up by feel. I frequently found myself flipping the remote after picking it up. Also on the usability tip, the keyboard on the back of the remote isn't backlit. This wouldn't be a problem, except for the keys use gray text on dark gray buttons, a color scheme that is impossible to see in poorly lit rooms. You know, like my living room when I'm watching a movie. One thing about the remote I do like, instead of using infrared, Boxee's remote uses radio. That means it doesn't require line of sight to work. Universal remote users beware though. Using radio renders this remote incompatible with third-party universal remotes, like Logitech's Harmony series. The Boxee Box is the best device I've tested for streaming content stored on your network or computer to your living room. Unfortunately, just because it's the best in the category doesn't mean it's necessarily good or ready for a mass audience. As it is right now, the Boxee Box is a $200 tool for hobbyists and people who are just as happy tweaking their gear as actually using it. Once Boxee spends some time honing the set-top box's UI, it's a different design than the PC and Mac versions of the software, and makes it easier to find and fix broken metadata. This would be a streaming box I'd unequivocally recommend. With the addition of Netflix and Hulu Plus support, the Boxee Box could be truly revolutionary. For Tested, I'm Will. Thanks for watching.